What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TWA Motorsports, and today, well, I thought it'd be good time for an update video. So yes, we did sell something. I haven't bought anything, but I figured we'd go through each one of the vehicles. We haven't done this in a while. Talk about some of the stuff I've got laying around out in the shop, some of the plans for each one of these things, and anyway, just kind of updating if you guys are maybe newer to the channel, don't know about some of the vehicles, or maybe you're not new to the channel and you're just curious, like, when is he going to get to this or what's he going to do with that. I figured today would be a good day to do that. So I haven't had a ton of time as far as like getting other videos done. You're going to see some stuff that you're going to see in a videos coming up that I've been working on, but I figured we would start here. I have actually sold one, and I figured we'd talk about that as well. But what we've got here in the garage, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the black truck here behind me, and then we'll go down to the shop and talk about what's in there, what the plans are. But anyway, up here in the top garage, guys, generally I don't keep the 54 up here. This is the patinaed 54. Guys, I really don't have a ton of plans on it. We just drive it. As a matter of fact, here recently, I've kind of gone in a fire sale mode and listed a bunch of stuff for sale. These two things I actually did list for sale. I'm pretty firm on the price of the 54 just because I really don't care whether it sells or not. It's just kind of one of those things that if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I also listed the Yukon, but what actually sold, guys, was the Formula. I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed about that, but I've gotten to the point where I can't just keep a bunch of stuff that I don't want to drive every day. I bought the Formula to daily drive, started driving it, and I realized that I can't drive an F-body every day. While I do love them, love the look of them, would love to store it in the garage and just look at it, I can't keep doing stuff like that. So I can't buy stuff that I'm not actually going to drive. A lot of the stuff I want to keep, there's a few things that I would sell, but anyway, I just can't keep stacking them up and not driving them. And so I am currently looking for another daily driver. I don't know what it's going to be, but anyway, the Formula is gone. But the 54, like I said, I really don't have any plans on it. I listed it for 35 grand, guys. I think that's a reasonable price for this thing. I don't think it's probably going to go anywhere. You know, a lot of people have made offers to me, especially trade offers. I don't want to trade for anything. And 35 grand is what it's going to take. Like 34.9 wouldn't buy it. That's just what it is. Now, this thing is on all modern suspension, coilovers all the way around. It's got an LS, a 5.3. It's got AC, tilt, cruise. We do drive this thing a lot. And here in the state of Missouri, you can actually run a year of manufacturer tag. So that's why it has a 54 tag on it now, guys. So if you were wondering how I get away with that, in Missouri, you have the ability to run a year of manufacturer tag on a vehicle, which is kind of cool. So I found a 54 tag. I thought that was neat. But no real plans on this as of right now. That may change. I may, I may decide that I really don't want to sell this. I don't know. But on to my wife's daily driver, the 2017 Yukon, guys. I listed it for sale as well. I listed it for $43,000. That's probably really high, and haven't got a ton of interest because I've listed it so high. But honestly, I don't really care whether it sells or not. My wife's been tinkering with the idea of going back to a car. She actually said something about getting another Corvette, even a C6. She likes the new C8. I don't want to spend over sticker for one. We may find a C6. I know it's kind of crazy going from this to a C6, but we would have to find another SUV for the family to ride around in. So I don't know whether this is going anywhere or not, but either way, I really like this color, guys. It's only a 2-year color. I don't even know the name of it, but it's kind of a greenish gray, and green is my favorite color, green and blue. So I don't see anything going on with that. It's going to need some maintenance items soon. It's going to need brakes. I don't know what I'm going to do as far as brakes go, and it's going to need a CV shaft. We actually went on vacation recently, and the CV boot broke and threw grease all over the inside of the wheel, and honestly, guys, it needs replaced. It's popping and making noise. I need to get a new one in there. So you're probably going to see some maintenance items on that very soon. But no plans as far as modifications on either one of those cars. So out here to the what we call the lawn mowing truck. Now My son's been daily driving this because, well, he doesn't want to drive his Camaro. Of course, the Camaro's not finished, but he doesn't want to drive his Camaro every day. He's kind of like me. If it's raining or something, he wants to keep the Camaro nice. And so when he gets it finished, I still think he'll be daily driving this. And so right now I'm actually daily driving this because he's not in school. And if he has to go somewhere, he has to use something like maybe the 54 if it's not raining or whatnot. But I've been daily driving this, and I've bought some stuff for this, which you're going to see in the shop. I don't have a whole lot of plans for this. Like I told you guys originally when I put this thing, or when I bought this thing, it's more of a utility purpose. You know, it's crusty on the bottom. I don't know that I have any plans on fixing the rest at any point. I don't know. I've just been trying to buy little things as it's needed. And you know, we've done a few things, like we did the headlights, we replaced the headliner, put a new mirror on the inside. Yeah, I mean, we've done a few things. I've got some wheels, which you'll see in the shop, that I'd like to put on it eventually. These are like a kind of a hubcap style. I mean, and it makes noise when you're driving down the road. The hubcap's like loose in the front. So I don't have a ton of plans there either. Just, you know, little stuff as I come across it used, maybe like a bumper. I'd like to put a chrome bumper on it if I could find one, or a chrome rear bumper. Yeah, I don't have a ton of plans for that either. So anyway, we're gonna go down to the shop and check out what's down there. We'll walk through that stuff, talk about some of the parts that I have on the shelf, talk about, you know, what the plans are for those cars. So here we are in the shop. I'm gonna kind of go over the cars, then we'll come over and talk about some of the parts that you see on the shelf. We've got stuff everywhere, guys. You know, in a video quite a while back, I guess a couple months ago, I talked about reorganization. We're back to stuff strung apart. But you know, when we have stuff torn up and taken apart, it's kind of tough to keep it organized, and it really makes me crazy. But starting right here, the lawnmower, guys, is generally not in here. It's got a blown motor. I have 4 of these mowers. This one's still here, got a blown motor. I've listed it for sale. I think I've got a guy that's buying it, but that's why it's in here. Normally it wouldn't be. Same with the golf cart. It's normally not in here. But the green truck, you guys know all about the green truck. You know, a lot of people have came to this channel because of it. And this is a prime example of what I was talking about as far as buying something and not driving it. I bought this truck, drove it every day when it was a 6-cylinder truck, before it was painted, before it was lowered. Even after it was lowered, I drove it with the V6 for a long time, and I just haven't got a lot of use out of it since I made it nice. And so the downside to making stuff nice is then you don't want to like take it out in bad weather. And you know, these trucks are really prone to rust, especially on the rockers. And so I tend not to drive it in the rain and whatnot. So, and we still got some stuff to finish. As you guys have been seeing, we did the power window swap. We're still not quite finished with that. We've got to get the door panels lined out, the dash pad lined out, which you guys are going to see very soon in a video. But this may end up being my daily driver for a while if I can't find something. So I've got some ideas as far as what I'm going to do as far as daily drivers, and I'll talk about that at the end of this video, guys. Kind of what my thought is for buying another daily. But this thing's all dusty from setting out here. You can see we still got parts in the bed. This all has to go on after we put the dash pad on, which you'll see in the video coming up why we don't have the dash pad on yet. But anyway, the plans for it, guys, once we get it back together from the power window swap, is to really drive it. I would love to put a single turbo on it. You guys saw, if you guys watched the video where I put the 5.3 in it, it has a provision in the oil pan to get a single turbo on it down the road. That would be my goal, is to put a single turbo, like a 76, nothing crazy. I'm not trying to set any records, but other than that, there's some other little things, like I'd like to change the rear suspension a little bit if I do put a turbo on it. But I haven't got to drive this thing. We had so much trouble with the 4L80 swap that we really haven't driven it. I haven't even put the break-in miles on it before I tore it apart and started doing the power window swap. So yeah, that's the goal there, is to drive it for a little bit, and I'll take you guys out when I do that. I want to make a video on it driving, talk about how the converter feels, because it's got a Circle D, I think it's a 3200 stall. So I would really like to hammer on it and see how it feels when you do that. On to the black truck, the poor black truck. It does run. I just put it on the Easy Jacks or the Go Jacks to move it around, because we've been pulling stuff in and out of that bay, the center bay. The goal here, guys, 6-liter swap. It's been sitting over there in the corner for, I don't even know, a couple years now. And my son's car came in and kind of took the place of this, but that is the next big thing we're going to tear into. Is I want to put a LS motor in this thing so bad. I love the look of this truck. This truck is one of the trucks that you will never see go anywhere on this channel. I have no desire to sell it. I love it. It's kind of like, I think the 54, if this thing ran and had an LS motor in it, we would drive it as much as we do the 54, because then it would be more reliable, more dependable. While it wouldn't fit all of us, I think we would drive it a lot. I drove this thing a ton before I bought the 54. We drove it all over, but now it's kind of to the point where the radiator's leaking. I'm not going to replace that. And it overheats when you drive it, you know, for a long period of time, especially in hot weather. But that is the plan. We're going to get a floor in it once we do the LS swap. It's got all Corvette brakes around it. It's the same thing. It's got coilovers all the way around. It's got a Ford 9-inch. I knew I was going to put an LS motor in it. Wanted to, you know, have the stuff to support a stronger motor. And I would love, so my ultimate goal for this thing, guys, is to have a 6-liter on it with an LSA blower. That is the goal. I don't know whether that'll happen. It just depends when we get into it, how much money we spend on the motor swap and the stuff that I want to do, because I can't just put a 6-liter in it that I've got. I'm going to have to put gaskets in it. I'm going to slide a cam in it. So it gets really expensive to do stuff like that. So, but that is the plan once my son's car is out of the way, is to tear into that and get it going. You can see we've got stuff strung out. My son's got all the interior out of his car. If you guys caught the last video on it, he took all this out by himself, which is awesome, to clean it. So hopefully I'm rubbing off on him as far as like cleaning each little piece. I never told him to pull the interior out. I told him I would do it, but he took it on himself to pull all this stuff out. He did it by himself. The only thing I helped him with was, I think I helped him take the console out when we took the shifter out. And then I took the sail panel. There's some little pieces, the coat hooks on the sail panels, so he could get those out. But he did the rest on his own. Did a really good job. And it's all clean, ready to go back in. So you're going to be seeing that very soon. Of course, he's wanting to put some stereo in it, which you guys will see in the parts over there. This truck, the 72 C10, guys, this truck is so nice. I don't want to sell it because it's so nice, and I really don't want to mess with it because it's so nice. So it's got the hood pop because I've got the battery tender on it, but no real plans on it, especially since we got all the other stuff going on. This is just one of those trucks we want to keep around and drive, and we really need to drive it more. This is kind of another situation where it's too nice to drive, and you end up not driving it. So I think that's why, you know, like this and the 54 are so nice to me, because for one, the paint, you don't have to worry about somebody scratching them. If you go somewhere, you can leave them setting outside, as far as like going out to dinner or something like that, not having to babysit them. This one, I'm pretty leery about people getting up against, or it's just that nice. So down the road, love to have an LS engine in it as well, but look, it's so nice. The motor's a brand new crate motor that I really don't care to mess with that. So the poor 1500 back here, the OBS truck, guys, look, the painter has the bed all blocked out. In fact, it may be even painted at this point. He's not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. We've got other stuff in front of it, so eventually we will get to it, but it is just kind of being a storage rack right now. A lot of the stuff that you see on the hood of it, normally I wouldn't store parts on the hood, but the hood needs repainted. The whole truck's gonna get repainted, so that's all stuff for my dad's truck, which we are still waiting on paint issues to get resolved there. So yes, you are going to see some OBS stuff. My wife really loves these OBS trucks, and she even made the comment, I will daily drive this and a Corvette. So I don't know, guys, this may be a truck that she wants to keep around for a while. So I don't really foresee us going anywhere with that. We got a lot of work ahead of us on it, but you know, a lot of people have asked, you know, what's going on with it. That's what's going on. I'm not rushing anything. There's so much stuff out here that needs to be done that I'm not in a hurry. So on to the 55, guys. The 55, I love this car. It would stay before a lot of this other stuff. Little sentimental at this point now. If you guys caught the video when I took my grandparents on a ride for Christmas, my grandfather actually recently passed away. He's the reason I think I love these cars, just stories of him telling me about him having one, buying one new. I was able to pick him up on Christmas Day and bring him to my house for Christmas. Absolutely cherish those memories, and I probably never gonna sell that car now. I have a lot of parts for it, and it is not even running right now. It actually died on me and my youngest son. It died on us, and we had to drag it back home. So far, this 3 times it's had to be drugged to this house. I think the fuel pump's bad. Eventually, it's going to get the same treatment as all this other stuff. LS engine, and I probably should put it in front of the 52, but because I love the 52, I'm not in a hurry to do this. I don't want to I don't know. This is going to happen. This is staying. LS motor, lower to the ground, different wheels. I would love to do air ride suspension. As a matter of fact, it's going to get air ride suspension at some point, but that is the goal here. Love that car. Son's car, we're getting very close on it, guys. In fact, you're going to see that in a video very soon. It's not running yet, but I think it's going to run in the next video. I really do. We got the front end back on. You're going to see a really good update on that. So I'm not going to go through that. You guys know about it if you've been watching. I bought this for my son. It's going to be a really nice car for him. Hopefully he can handle it. This is all parts that we've stripped off of his car. If you guys remember, we stole the motor out of the Trans Am, and so the poor Trans Am's been sitting here with no love for quite a while, but we're gonna get back on it very soon. I'm at this point waiting on a motor from my machine shop to go in this car. Remember, this motor was bad. We stole the motor from the Trans Am. I'm gonna do some upgrades, some better pistons, better rods for this motor. So that is what all these parts are. Kind of around here came off of this and probably going here. Some of them are going to go in the scrap bin, but those are the wheels that I was talking about for the truck out there. Just some LTZ wheels I was planning on putting on the lawn mowing truck. I just haven't got around to getting tires. They really need the clear knocked off of them. I'm probably being a little too picky for a lawn mowing truck. We probably should just find some tires and put them on, but that's what's going on there. These are the pistons out of my son's car. Every one of the rods is bent. Every one of the pistons is ruined. So that's really needs to go in the scrap bin. I think my dad's going to use a couple of them to make a shelf for him. This guy, I think we kind of covered it with my son's car, but it's going to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's one of those things I really want to take my time on, guys. That's what all the parts are on that rack over there. It's not going anywhere. We're keeping it. We're going to finish it at some point. I know we've got a lot going on, but yeah, it's going to get finished. On to the wheels. I'm surprised nobody's asked about these in prior videos. Guys, I decided back when I had the Yukon that I wanted something a little flashier for wheels because that paint was so dull. That silver birch, I just don't like that color, and I thought, man, maybe if I put a set of 24s on it that were billets, it would look a lot better. I bought these, I started polishing on them, and guys, I just don't have the time to keep up with a set of billet wheels. I just don't have it in me anymore to set and polish on these things. So I listed them for sale. I'm sure they'll sell eventually, but that's what's going on with those. Like I said, I'm surprised nobody's asked about them in prior videos because you've seen them in the background, but that's what's going on with those. They're a set of 24-inch US mag billets, and man, billet wheels are tough to stay on top of as far as cleaning. I don't even know why I thought on a daily driver that would be a good idea, but it is not a good idea on a daily driver unless you're young and have a lot of time to polish. Stereo. The box that you see there, guys, this is all stereo for my son's car. Of course, you know how teenagers are. They got to have a big booming radio. He wanted to put a radio in it, so we've got all the stereo stuff for his car, which you'll see in a video soon. The subwoofers that we've got there, we're going to have to do something as far as boxes go, but that box came out of his G8. We're going to be putting that back in and putting some well, we're not going to put that box in the car, but we're going to take the subs out and put them in something else and use those. That's what that's about. These are extra door panels that are for the power window swap. I actually got these out of the truck. Maybe these, no, these did not come out. These came out of another truck. I don't even know where those came from. I don't think they're out of the truck that I took the power window motor stuff out of, but they're extras. But we've got a two-tone set that we're planning on putting in the truck, so that's what's going on there. These are all extra parts like the wideband, the two-step and stuff off the Camaro. That's not going back on. Listed that stuff for sale. And then on to the rack of parts. We've got just some extra stereo equipment, some extra parts off NBS trucks, extra like LS engine parts. We've got a cam that we had planned on putting in the my son's car from GP Tuning, Matt at GP Tuning. He does all my tuning on my vehicles. Also, I generally have him spec out cams for me. He had that cam spec'd out, and then we found out the motor was bad, and we swapped motors, so that'll go in. I'm thinking we're gonna put that in the 6-liter. Other than that, guys, we've got the Circle D converter down there for the Trans Am. Just extra parts. Kind of the same situation. Got some LS6 heads that we bought for my son's Camaro. Those are going to go on the 6-liter now. Parts for my dad's truck. Brakes for the 55. That's what all this stuff is Corvette brakes for the 55. And then, of course, we've got some random stereo equipment and some C-notches for an OBS truck. Or, sorry, NBS truck. But I think that covers everything out here, guys. Oh, there is a couple things over there I didn't talk about. So that big box that's in front of the 72, I actually found a used hood because the hood is so bad on the lawn mowing truck that's what's in that box. It's a stock 06, 07 hood that I was planning on getting painted black. If my painter had black in his gun, he was going to paint that. And then the tailgate. So those two things on the mowing truck are pretty wrecked. And so I found a used tailgate and a used hood, and that was the plan there. And it still probably is the plan, but I need to get those out to paint so they can get those painted. But I think that covers it all, guys. If you have any questions about some of the other stuff you may have seen when I was walking by, let me know in the comments. But so as far as daily drivers, like I said, I told you I was going to talk about what I had planned as far as looking for daily drivers. I'm a truck guy, and so I'm looking for another truck. I just don't know what that's going to be. Right now, I have an idea of what I want. I really want a 03 to 07 classic NBS GMC extended cab. Only an extended cab. We've had crew cabs, had regular cabs, like to have an extended cab. And I really like to have a GMC. I wanted to, we've had cat eyes, so that's one of them. The other one is a crew cab in NBS, so like your 07 to 13. And I'm really specific on colors. If I go with the 03 to 07, I really want a two-tone truck. If I go with a 07 to 13, I want a red one. Maybe white, but I really want red. So those are the two things that I'm throwing around and looking for. I've just had trouble. Trucks right now are way overpriced, in my opinion. And I can't find exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want one that's all rusty. I don't want one that's gonna be lost in paint forever. I want one that I can drive daily. May have a few nicks or scratches on it, kind of like some of the stuff that we've daily driven on this channel before. So let me know what you guys think of those two options. I've also thought about an NBS Suburban because I haven't had one of those, and I don't know. So those are the things that I'm thinking about, guys. Let me know which one is your favorite down in the comments. But ultimately, I think we'll finish here. I just want to walk you guys around. Like I said, I've been working on all this stuff, just haven't had a bunch of time to put up new videos. And but you're going to be seeing videos on this stuff very soon. If you did enjoy this update, guys, like always, please go down there and smash that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed, go down there, hit that subscribe button. Of course, ring the bell icon that notifies you every single time we drop a new video. And stay tuned to see what we work on next.